Hey guys, welcome to my Ghostbusters Afterlife movie review. This is a movie I was really looking forward to seeing and I finally got to see it this week and I'm going to tell you my thoughts about it. I've got a bit of a funny story to share with you about my viewing experience of this movie. Please stick around to the end of the review and I'll tell you about it there. But first I'm going to give you a quick plot outline, like you even need one. It's Ghostbusters, right? But here we go. When a single mother and her two children move to a new town, they soon discover they have a connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. Wonder who their grandfather could be. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, there's a lot to like about this movie. It pays homage to the original. It's got that real nostalgic 1980s vibe to it. It's got young people going on an adventure, trying to solve the mystery. So if you think of Stranger Things, you've got four young people who happen to be trying to solve all of these mysteries. It's reminiscent of Spielberg's work, even down to the music. So there's a lot of fun to be had there. And when I was watching this, for the first hour, I thought, yeah, I quite like this movie. It's warm. It takes me back to my youth. I'm enjoying it. Sad to say, as the movie goes on, here's my first criticism. I found myself getting a little bit bored and actually bored to the point where I actually fell asleep on a couple of occasions. Fell asleep to the point where I think I probably need to watch this movie again because I probably missed key elements. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. That's not a good sign. I will watch the movie again because maybe there's important things that I missed and I'll go back and check those out. However, I think the things that I missed probably weren't that great because the movie just wasn't engaging enough for me. There's nothing massively original about this movie and that's a sad thing because I understand it's a tough balancing act that you want to pay homage to the 80s movies on one hand, but then you also have to come up with something fresh and new and exciting to make people want to go see this movie as opposed to just watching the old Ghostbusters movies. So it's a case of, right, how many references do we make to the 80s movies and what do we bring that's fresh to the table? And I feel like there's more homage to the 80s Ghostbusters movies than bringing out fresh ideas. So in this one, it's like, well, let's just make a Ghostbusters movie in 2021 and we'll be clever. We'll just chuck in some 2021 references. Hey, podcast. Hey, we have podcasts now. So there's a character called Podcast. And that's a new idea. And he points his podcast microphone as a gun. And that's about it, really. Everything else is busy ticking boxes to say, hey, Ghostbusters fans of the 80s, you're going to love this. So we're not actually going to do anything clever or creative. We're just going to make as many references to the 80s movies as possible. I thought the script had its funny moments. There's some decent jokes in there. Decent where I went, haha, that's quite funny. But a lot of the jokes are just like taken from a bad sitcom, just cheap jokes where you'd have forced canned laughter to encourage you to laugh. It's one thing to try and have clever references to pay homage to the original films. It's another thing just to rip them off or to put them in places where they don't work. So there's lots of winks to the audience. Laugh at this moment here. So there's a sheriff who at one point says to someone, who are you going to call? It's not funny, it's just chucked in. There's references to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which are like, yeah, it's not massively funny. There's the werewolf dogs that pop up that we had in the original movies that pop up again. There's cameos. You know there's going to be cameos because it's almost like this is what Hollywood does. It's like, hey, stick around and there'll be a clever cameo. You can see them coming a mile off. There's going to be post-credit scenes and you know there's going to be cameos in there as well. They're just coming a mile off and it's not original, it's not creative, it's not massively clever. I really wanted to like this movie and this movie was just okay. Like I say, the first sort of hour when you've got the Spielberg vibes, kids on an adventure, yeah, that's cool, but we've seen that in Stranger Things. We've seen that in a bunch of other movies since the 1980s, so nothing about that was massively original. Paul Rudd's in this. Paul Rudd's a nice guy. He's funny. I actually thought he should be more front and center, but he doesn't have a lot to do, to be honest. The kids are quite funny. It's all right, but nothing special. I wanted more from this Ghostbusters movie. I thought the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, and it's going to be, controversial point where you had female characters and a lot of people didn't like that. I think that's a better movie than this one. This one, nothing special. So my official Marcus Loves Movies rating for Ghostbusters Afterlife is, mini drum roll, 3 stars. So the funny story that I promised I'd share with you at the start, I'm going to share with you right now. I went to watch this at my local Cineworld and I was running a tiny bit late where I thought I've probably missed the trailers, but I'll get in just in time for the start of the movie. So I said to the usher, hey, here's my e-ticket I've booked to go into the screen. And she was like, great, yeah, there you go, going to that screen there, fantastic. So as I went into the screen, it seemed that I'd missed the first few minutes of the film because this group of young people in the film were already, you know, trying to figure out a mystery where this ghost was. And I was like, oh, damn, I've missed the first 5 minutes, but hey ho, it happens. So sit down and I'm thinking, I feel like this scene is quite in depth already for an early part of the movie. These young people are already trying to solve this mystery of where this ghost is. Then as I looked around, I thought, I'm in an IMAX screen and I didn't book an IMAX ticket. This is weird. So I actually picked my drink up, picked my things back up, and I went back outside and I said to the usher, excuse me, is this definitely the screen I should be in? Because actually, I don't remember it being an IMAX screen, so I thought it was just a general screen that I'd booked to watch this film in. And she went, oh yeah, you're not meant to be in IMAX, you're meant to be in that one, you're meant to be in screen number 9, yeah, sorry. So she'd sent me into a screening which had started, you know, earlier. So I went into my screen and, you know, again, I'd missed the first few minutes of that. So I thought, okay, let me watch this film and let me see until I get to the point where these young people should be solving a mystery, because I've already seen a scene in this movie. I'm guessing that might be 20 minutes into the film, maybe 30 minutes in, but you know, she'd sent me into a screen which had started earlier. So as I'm now sat watching the Ghostbusters that I'd booked into, I was waiting to see this scene that I'd already seen. It took an hour and 10 minutes until I saw the scene that I'd already seen in the wrong screen that she'd sent me into. So if I'd sat there and not thought too much about it, I would have watched the film for an hour and it would have finished and I'd been like, right, yeah, you sent me into the wrong screen. So that was a bit frustrating and a little bit annoying. And it's happened to me once before with Fast and Furious, and maybe I'll tell you that in another video. But yeah, that was slightly funny. And fortunately, the fact it was Ghostbusters and the film wasn't that special, didn't spoil that or anything for me. Fortunately, there was no massive spoiler or massive twist that, you know, would have wrecked it for me. But yeah, just, you know, cinema staff, sometimes, you know, check people's tickets and check that they're seeing the right thing. But yeah, that's what happened to me, and those are my thoughts about Ghostbusters Afterlife. So would love to know what you thought of the film. Did you think it was fantastic? Did you think it was terrible? Did you think it was, yeah, it was alright, it was a bit middle of the road? Please leave a comment in the comment section. Whilst you're here, can I encourage you to give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, and if you like movie reviews and if you like trailer reactions and film discussion, can I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to also hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I release a brand new video. Thanks for checking out my Ghostbusters Afterlife movie review. Please stay tuned for the next video I release, so I will see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and thank you for watching.